seeing you here.
Funny seeing you here.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book is this one. Well, not this whole thing, but it's Betsy and Tacy Go Downtown. It was written in like 1942 for 10-year-old girls, but it's just my favorite. It's about a little girl growing up in Minnesota at the turn of the century, and she wants to be a writer, and she goes to the library. It's super nerdy, but it's the best.
What was your favorite place you've ever visited?
My favorite place I've ever visited is this library now. I guess maybe Lake Louise in Canada. I went when I was, I don't know, maybe it was 1976, the year of the bicentennial. And it's just the most beautiful place. It's like a natural lake that, I don't know, it's gorgeous. Google it, Lake Louise.
So where did your love of the library come from?
I loved it. My mom was bored. She was a teacher, and she was bored when I was little, so she taught me to read when I was like 3, and then she just took me to the library to shut me up and gave me a bunch of books, and it's just always been a comfort to me. I've always liked the library.
If you could take a class here at BHS, what would it be?
It would be Miss Brotherton's AP US 2. I want to take it so bad. When I retire, I'm just going to come back and disguise myself as a teenager.
You teach film studies. Why should we study film?
Because, well, there's a quote from Roger Ebert, who is a famous film critic in Chicago, and he said that the movies are like an engine that generates empathy. And so I feel like by watching movies, it's like you see a bunch of different lives. You know, you see how other people live, you see what other people's experiences are like, and it makes you a better person.
What is the most popular book from the BHS library?
Probably, well, Colleen Hoover. What was that first one? I can't remember the name of it. That one's the most popular now, but the one that probably circulated the most, like for fiction, actually the one that circulated most is probably something about the Industrial Revolution, but I don't know. But The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas was super popular back in the day. The Hunger Games and Twilight, like, you know, the ones that are bestsellers tend to be the same ones that kids want to take out.
Knowing you read a lot of books, what is the worst book you have ever read?
No, I don't believe that there's such a thing as a bad book because I've never written one. So everybody who's written a book has done something that I have not yet done. I think that there are, you know, dangerous books, obviously, Mein Kampf and stuff like that. But also, we shouldn't discount if somebody's gone to the trouble to write something up. You have to be discerning, but you shouldn't discount it.
If you could pick any book to be on the summer reading list, what would it be?
Betsy and Tacy Go Downtown, obviously, but it'll never happen because, you know, 10-year-old girls. But this year, there's so many good ones, and I get to choose a summer reading list. So basically, if there's a book that I want on the summer reading list, it goes on the summer reading list.
Talking about summer reading projects, what is your favorite one to grade?
I love it when people make art. It's just so fun for me to see. We do an art show every year at the public library, and so when people make something that was inspired by a book, I love that. Or like a game. I got a really good game this year that somebody made, you know, inspired by like this, you know, cute kind of romance book, but the whole game is like everybody finding each other. It was adorable.
What is the best or worst movie adaptation of a book?
Well, let's see. I just saw Shutter Island, which is an adaptation of a book by Dennis Lehane, and Dennis Lehane is the one writer that I'm like afraid to read because he's so good, but he makes everything so scary. But the adaptation was great. Worst adaptation, gosh, I didn't love the third and fourth Hunger Games movies were based on the book, but then again, I didn't like that book that much. Again, like I do a lot of bests and very few worsts. I pretty much like everything.
So what is your favorite hair color you've had?
Not this one. I'm doing this one because I'm going to see my mother, who is 84 years old, and she hates when I have crazy colors. She's like, I just wanted to look like it. You could have been born that way. And so I'm doing this for her. I like purple. I'll probably do purple next.
How can someone become a better reader?
Ooh, what a great question. I would say by reading. And also, like, read what you like. Don't just read something because, well, I mean, you kind of have to read something because your English teacher says so. But don't just, you know, read what you feel like you should read. You know, read what you want to read. If you're reading what you like, if you're interested in it, you'll become a better reader. Can we take the elevator?
Yeah, it's fine.
I can't carry my cart down the stairs.
What is your favorite song?
My favorite song is Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest. It's like a one-hit wonder, and they're gonna play it at my funeral. Every time I hear it, I have the best day. And I can't like go look for it, because I'm old school, I use like Sirius radio. So it has to come on organically, but then when I hear it, I know I'm gonna have the best day ever.
What's the craziest dream you've ever had?
I dreamt that my advisory students went to Christmas tree shops. We were all at Christmas tree shops, and they stole a bunch of glue, and then they went to my house. This was just 2 nights ago. And then they went to my house, and they said my wallpaper was awful, and they had to fix it. And so they put big globs of glue on my wallpaper, and then just had snacks in my living room. It wasn't my real house. It was like this old weird house. But still, I found it very aggressive that they tried to fix my wallpaper with stolen glue.
If you could meet any author, dead or alive, who would it be?
My Heart Lovelace, the author of Betsy and Tacy. You know what, I gotta keep saying, I'm just gonna say the Betsy Tacy books, because they go all the way up to Betsy's wedding. It's a huge book. But yeah, definitely her, she's my fave.
What is your best or worst memory from school?
Oh, this is so bad. When I was in 10th grade, I went to religious school for most of my the experience, which is why I love public school so much, because I'm not somebody who's a fan of private school. But so I went to public school for just 10th grade, and I took AP biology, for which I was woefully unprepared. And it turned out that one day I was just bored and I wasn't thinking, and I took a pair of tweezers, and I was like, I wonder what would happen if you put these tweezers in an electric socket. And I actually put a pair of tweezers in an electric socket, like the most idiotic person in the world. Like, you know that electricity conducts through metal, and the little electric socket exploded, and everyone called me Sparky for the rest of the year. It was very bad. And then they were like, oh, we should have her tested, which they wanted to make sure that I wasn't, you know, impaired in some way. I was not. I was just bored and weird. Oh God, I can't believe I just told that story. Ask me another question so I can redeem myself.
Can we see your Panther roar?
I don't want to disturb people. Let's go under the stairs, because then it will echo and then Ms. Orr will be like, what is going on down there? Okay, there's nobody here. All right, ready? It's
Yes.
gonna be savage. You're probably gonna have bad dreams. All right, that was, God, 2 weird ones in a row. What are the odds?
You've appeared on Jeopardy twice. How does one get on a game show?
Well, 4 times, but okay. So the first time, you just take a test, and then if you do really well on the test, they call you for an interview, and then if they give you another test for the interview to make sure that you weren't cheating the first time, and make sure that you can talk to other humans, and then you wait and you wait and you wait, and they eventually put you on. So the first time I went on, it was just like a regular game, but then they did what they call a second chance tournament, and they invited people back who came really close, because I came really close to beating this guy that I played on the first game, and he went on to win a million different ones, and I came closer to beating him than anyone else, so they called me back. And then I won the first game of the tournament, which was shocking for everyone, I'm sure. And then, you know, crashed and burned the last 2, but it was really fun.
What is a Jeopardy category you could 100% ace?
Young adult literature.
What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite school appropriate curse word is farty buckets or mother scratcher. Those are the 2 that I use. Alrighty.
When someone makes the movie of your life, who will play it?
Ooh, do I have it right here? The woman that played Phyllis on The Office, she's my twin. This is my school ID, and nobody ever notices that it's not me, that it's actually Phyllis from The Office. So probably her or Molly Shannon, but I don't know. I think I just feel like Molly Shannon more than I look like Molly Shannon.
Would you rather go to high school now or when you went?
Oh my God, when I went, it was so much easier. There were no phones. There were like, if you called someone, if they weren't there, they just didn't answer. And so you could easily like get out of social obligations. You could, there weren't eyes on you all the time.
And finally, what's a topic you could talk about forever?
Oh, I could talk about young adult literature of the mid-20th century. I would start with Maud Hart Lovelace, obviously, but then go on to Janet Lambert, who else? Even Lucy Maud Montgomery, although she's Canadian, she's not American. So